Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I'm your host, Chantele Francis, here with my co-host, Matthew, to talk about the Challenge USA Season 2, Episode 11. How are you doing, Matthew?
I'm doing well. I was actually surprised that we only got a single elimination this week. So I was like fully the whole episode. I was thinking, oh, you know what? Just another double. And then there's like 20 minutes left in the episode. And they're talking about, oh, let's make it a girls' day. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
It's not a double here? Don't we only have like 1 or 2 episodes left? But
Well, it seems like we have more than one left because a lot of people were saying that it's going to be 12 episodes. That's all I think that's written on like the Challenge Wiki. But it seems like next week is a mini final. It doesn't seem like it's the real final.
No, there's got to be at least 2 episodes, if not more.
Maybe it goes to 14.
To 14. Yeah, maybe it's next week and then there's a double after.
I don't know. It's wild.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they can't just let us know as well.
Well, we know it's ending soon because the new season starts in 3 weeks. So it's got to be ending pretty soon unless they overlap, which I doubt.
Well, I mean, they could overlap because they're not on the same day anymore.
Yeah, it would be a little weird, but it's possible, I guess.
It's possible. Well, we have some friends joining us here. Hello, Taj. Lauren's here. AK-47. What's up? Sunani Speak says, hi, everyone. Michaela's an icon and can do no wrong in my eyes. She can do no wrong in my eyes, too. Like, she's just messy. And I'm just like, she gets herself in trouble. It's fine.
She's kind of like this season's Danny McRae, where like she wants to like take the shot, but she's like restricted by the format.
Yeah.
Like she wanted to go after Tori twice, but she was in the power with Fessy and Corey, who both shut it down. So she is kind of like, I hope it doesn't come back to bite her like it did to Danny, where like they couldn't take the shot at Jordan, and then Jordan ended up winning. If Tori ends up winning now because no one would let Michaela take the shot, that'll be pretty frustrating.
I can't have a Tori win again.
Yeah, I mean, she's so like, the fact that like this was their shot and Michelle didn't go along with it. Now I feel like Michelle becomes like even more of a target. I feel like Tori's looking pretty good. I mean, she might have to fight off. She's gonna have to survive 2 more votes, but she has all the vets working with her.
So Chris, at the beginning of the episode, obviously everybody's congratulating him and Cassidy for coming back in, but he wants to take out Fessy and Tyler. What do you think about that for his targets?
I understand Fessy. I don't really understand Tyler. Like, I get it. Like, you guys had some beef, but like, look at the vets that are still in the game. Like Tyler, like you take out Tyler, like you're still target number 1. But if you can take out like Fessy or Bananas, it opens up the game for you where like people might actually want to work with you. So I understood Fessy, but also Fessy's the hardest person to take out.
Yep.
Like if it's me, I'm like, all right, let's get Bananas in an elimination because he is beatable there. And he is like very well insulated. Or even Josh, like take Josh out of the game, who's well insulated and definitely the easiest to beat. I think that's a better approach than just going after Tyler, who's on his own.
Yeah, I know it. I'm like, I know that they had their little beef when Monty was still in the game, but it's kind of like he needs to be making some friends, picking up some numbers, and come to some sort of truce or agreement with Tyler, being like, listen, like you're on an island, I'm on an island, let's work together here to try to make something happen because they're going to use us to take out each other, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Very strange. Hi, Willie. Willie's here. Jorge said, other than the daily heats for the ladies, I thought this episode was boring.
I mean, I really like the daily. I thought there was like some interesting parts like towards the end, but it just like once it became obvious what was going to happen, and then like when Michelle like didn't go along with it to make it more dramatic, it kind of was lackluster towards the end. But I did really like the daily as well.
Amaya's here. Willie says it sucks that Michaela was willing to make a move, but it wasn't made because people were playing like cowards. Well, I think they're playing safe, and I think they're playing safe because they want to get to the final, and they're not thinking about the fact that Tori might take the win from them if they're in the final with her. But I think they just want to get there. And so I understand why they don't want to risk their spot. Especially since they don't know how many more eliminations are going to be before the final, and they did make a deal with Tori, so I get not wanting to throw her in.
Yeah, but once Cassidy, say Cassidy goes in against Michelle, which are the only two people not part of the deal, if there is still another elimination, like the deal's off anyway, so like doesn't it make sense to get a jump on it before all the vets turn on you? That's the only thing that like it's maybe playing a little too safe. And like ultimately they did vote for Tori, so like they did do what I'm saying. So I think they had the right idea, but they anticipated Michelle being part of it. But I actually agreed with them like going for Tori here, because if you just wait another week and Cassidy or Michelle leave, then like one of you is going in anyways. And it could be against each other. So I do agree with what they did here and try to get the jump on it.
Right. So Cassie's, of course, feeling alone. You know, she's been thrown into elimination a bunch of times, or like potentially going into elimination. Tyler also feels alone because now his lover girl, Alyssa, is out of the game. Did you feel sorry for Tyler?
No, not really. I mean, I don't feel too bad for him. He's got Fessy there. He's got Josh there. He's got some friends. The only person I do feel a little bad for is Chris, because like it seems like literally everyone hates Chris. And I mean, he's not he's not my favorite, but like he seems like a nice enough guy, and like he just can't catch a break here. And at this point, I'm honestly kind of rooting for Chris to just take this season,
like win the whole thing.
Yeah, why not? For the guys.
Kind of who's left, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, like he's 4-0 in eliminations. I imagine he's going to go into one more. So if he can go 5-0 in eliminations, tie Horacio, make the final, it's a pretty good story.
Pretty good. He'll be invited back for sure.
Oh yeah, I think already he's a lock if he wants to.
Armin here says, we all know Tori's name wasn't in the hopper at all. Do you agree?
When they were pulling the name out of the hopper, like if you like go back and watch, like Tori like did not look nervous at all. She was like giggling. It's like, does she know something that we don't know? Like she knows that Tyler's going in. And I think there was 10 votes. She had a 30% chance. But she did not seem worried at all.
So Danny says it should have been Michelle and Tori in elimination. So annoying. I think that Tori would have won and taken out Michelle then, I guess.
But I do think this is something Tori could have lost.
It's true.
Like I do, like she'd be favored, but like maybe like 60-40 as opposed to like next week when they do a hall brawl in the double and like Tori's like 90% to win.
Right. Well, yeah, I just don't know how strong Michelle is to be able to move those barrels.
Yeah.
So the challenge fan says there's 14 episodes, so 3 left. MTV version will premiere the week after the CBS finale.
Okay, so makes sense. So next week they'll do a guys elim, and then 13 they'll do a double elim probably, or 13 they'll do a double.
Part 1 of the final with like a
I guess they
elimination.
They could also do 5 males, 5 females in the final.
And have a purge at some point.
Yeah.
Or like a duel or whatever.
Yeah, like an elimination in the final. Yeah. Okay, cool.
So Corey wants to have strong girls in the final. So he wants to run with Tori. Like, and this is what we've been saying all the time. It's like we never understood why Josh at times wanted to like get out we never knew why Josh wanted to like do the things he was doing, because you want to have the strongest women in the final.
So and this is what I've been saying like about Josh, and Corey understands because Corey's lost 3 finals. So he knows from the experience of losing, you want to get to the end with strong women. If you're a man, you want to get to the end with strong women and weaker men.
Correct.
So Corey has half of it down pat, but he needs to take out the strong men too. It's not just about getting to the finals with the strong women. You also need like bananas out of there. And that's the part, like he did take sort of a shot early on, But this could have been a good opportunity to take a shot there. But at least Corey is learning, which is good for Corey.
How'd you feel when he had the Skype call with his family?
Oh, I thought it was going to be Nelson for sure. I was like ready. Like he got on Skype. Oh, we're about to see Nelly T. And then it was his family. I'm like, I feel like we've seen this before.
Well, I don't think he's done a Skype call with her. We just see him looking at pictures usually.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess like the story we've seen before. I was like hoping to see Nelson, but I guess we're not.
I didn't read or listen to what he had said, but Nelson did make a post. I think it was today.
Yeah, really sad news. Like obviously everyone knows he was in like a horrible accident. He basically said he was they told him it was going to be about 12 months for full recovery. He's at like 8 months now, I think he said. And he went for his checkup and like he was experiencing a lot of pain. He's had multiple surgeries. And they basically told him at this point, like he either has to amputate his foot, which obviously is just horrible, or he can do like another like emergency surgery, but there's some risk involved where it could like, if it's infected, it could go throughout his body. So he's seeking like multiple opinions. He said he has like emergency appointments next week. So, I mean, like if people are prayers, like pray for Nelson, it obviously is not going well. And, he's like in a really dark place, it seems. So I hope there's some sort of miracle, but it definitely is not looking good for our boy Nelly.
Like amputation, it's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. And he was just like very down, like saying like he feels like the last like 8 months of his life have been like a complete like waste. And he's just been like super depressed and whatnot. And I mean, I get it. It's like, I couldn't imagine going through that shit, but yeah, it sucks to see because like the last few years of Nelson, he's been like really like a shining light on the cast, like definitely a new Nelson, and definitely like, I mean, the least of his worries is like getting back on the show, but I mean, he's definitely missed.
Yeah, now I feel so bad.
Yeah,
because like you don't want anybody, especially because his body and his physical ability is kind of what he has. You know what I mean? Like that's what he does, and so it just sucks that might be taken away forever from. I mean, obviously, he still potentially could be able to compete in a different capacity, but
yeah,
it's really unfortunate. Really unfortunate. Well, he's still alive, so that's good because that could have been a
I mean, he's
outcome.
like definitely like lucky, and like everyone's happy that he's like made it. But yeah, I mean, all we can do is keep our fingers crossed and just hope for the best in the next few weeks, I guess.
Absolutely. It would have been nice to get a call then, especially with this kind of news going on. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I imagine like it'll make it to the show at some point, like maybe like season 40 will. I mean, obviously he's not going to be there, but I imagine like a lot of his friends will be there, and hopefully they do something to like acknowledge Nelson. Obviously like things have gotten worse like since this film, so I get like not having him there, but I'm sure at some points the show will acknowledge like what's going on.
I hope so. So we get to the daily that you really like. I don't know what TJ was talking about with like oil wrestling was like something that they do on the land. Like
it felt like Jeff Probst like telling like the stories for like those nighttime, the folklore or the lore. And it felt like that. I'm like, TJ, what are you talking? I don't think TJ even knew what he was talking about. He must have like an earpiece in, and they're like telling him what to say, because that did not sound like TJ whatsoever.
So they're going to be oil wrestling, and it's called Slippery Business, also the episode title. Now, did you notice the ridiculous music when the guys are like looking sexy, all oiled up?
I don't know. What was the music?
It was kind of like clown music. Like it was just like silly music.
Oh,
Like
when
it
like
wasn't
Bananas was
sex.
like rubbing himself.
Yeah, it wasn't like sexy porno moves music. It was like like it was just like goofy music.
Yeah. Yeah, I always like those montages. I
It's
find them,
funny.
like, really funny. Like, the one we got last, season with, like, Horacio riding the bike, um, it was just, like, hilarious. It was, like, you just get, like, a literally, like, a full minute of, like, these dudes, like, all oiled up or, like, all sweaty, and, it's like, yeah, like, they don't all, like, look sexy, but, like, you got, like, Horacio, and then it showed, like, Devin riding, like, whipping his shirt off. And they're just like kind of making a mockery of these guys. But I always think it's pretty funny.
Yes, it was pretty
There
funny.
was one point where also I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was Corey or Fessy, I think. But they were like oiling up Chris's back, and they were just like it was like they were putting sunscreen on his back.
Yes,
That was
it
funny.
was. I don't remember who it was actually. So basically they're all in this kind of pit, they're all oiled up, and it's last man standing inside the arena, I guess. They all just jumped Chris. What do you think about that for fairness?
I hated that. Like I obviously I expected it. I hated that. I wish what they did was like one-on-ones where it's like, all right, like they do in Big Brother, like the knockout challenge, where it's like, okay, say Chris is against Corey first. Corey wins. He chooses the next two people to go. I think that would have been a better way to do it. Make the ring a little bit smaller, maybe. But yeah, the fact that you could just like jump one person and like essentially dictate who is in the final two kind of sucked. The girls did much better. The guys were just like, all right, we're gonna decide who's going first, second, third, and then Corey and Fessy will fight it out. But I did think the women were like quite entertaining.
Lauren loved Desi's commentary about Fessy in the Daily.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just standing there, like doing absolutely nothing for a lot of it.
Well, in the first, I think the first, like the first part when they all went after Chris, I do think Fessy might have been a little bit involved there. And then in the second round, when it was Tyler, they basically just said like, all right, Bananas, you did nothing first round, so like let's see what you got against Tyler. And Bananas did okay. Like they both got eliminated, but like, hey, for like the oldest dude there against like a 26, 27-year-old Tyler, I did a pretty good job.
Pretty good.
So there's my like Bananas praise for the episode.
Oh my god, you're a banana stan. Yes. So yeah, Chris is out first. Bananas and Tyler go out second. Fessy's there negotiating these one-on-one combats, and Corey does end up taking out Josh, which not surprising. You would think though that Josh would know how to use his weight and size to be able to like maneuver.
I think Josh actually did a decent job, but it was like the technicality where like if any part of your body touches, and I think Corey had just like grabbed Josh's arm and like touched his hand on the ground. I'm like, okay, I kind of wish it was like you got to get the whole body out as well. I think that would have been better.
I think I don't know why that you didn't have to get their whole maybe like 50% of their body out, or like more than just like my pinky finger went outside the ring.
Yeah, I don't like it's like you can just grab someone's like leg or arm and just like make it touch the ground and they're dead. It doesn't give them like a fair shot, really.
Willie, I don't think that Josh would be good at physical stuff necessarily, but I thought because he's the heaviest person there, that his weight might allow him to be a little bit stronger, like win more easily. Anyways,
he's just clumsy, I think. But I don't think he did horrible here. But I don't know. I don't trust Josh to be good at anything, to be honest.
So the final matchup is going to be Corey versus Fessel. Suzanne was glad that Fessy was a flop this daily because she didn't want him to win. Yeah, he kind of flopped on that.
Yeah, it was so funny. Like obviously the confessionals are filmed after, but like you can tell like they made him say like, yeah, this is what I do, like one-on-one, like physical combat. Like I played football. This is my bread and butter or whatever. And then like it's funny that they made him say that knowing he lost. I was happy to see Corey win. Like Corey can like pack a punch, and I think Corey also played football. So I was happy that Corey won that.
I'm happy that Fessy didn't win that one. So
you don't care that Corey won. You're just happy Fessy lost.
I didn't care that much that Corey won.
Yeah.
Just happy that Fessy lost. Right. So now the girls round is happening. And Tori is the one that's being ganged up on this time around. Or did you still feel bad for her?
So I was surprised. Well, I mean, no, I didn't feel as bad as I did for Chris because I just like Chris a bit more. But I was surprised that they went after Tori right away, given the fact they had their deal. Like I assumed they were just going to go for Cassidy first, and then like go for Tori or make it more of a free for all. But yeah, I mean, I was pleasantly surprised that they went that route.
I'm also as like impressed by Cassidy. Like we learned that she's done jujitsu and kickboxing, and so like she was scrappier, and people found it a lot harder to get rid of her. But she does end up getting taken out by Desi and her go out at the same time. Michaela takes out Michelle. She's a beast. Like,
oh my, it was so funny when like I think it was Michaela had a confessional where she's like, "Yeah, I respect Michelle for trying, but like she does not know what she's getting herself into here." And yeah, I mean, Michelle was like getting little like shoves in, but she had no shot here. Michaela is an absolute animal. I think Michaela also contributed to both Desi and Cassidy getting out. I think they were like on the edge, and Michaela kind of pushed them over. So I really think Michaela was somewhat responsible for every woman getting out in this challenge, which is really, really awesome.
So the final matchup for the ladies is Michaela versus Chanel. And it was like we thought Chanel, I really want her to prove herself a little bit. Like I thought that this was going to be her challenge. She was saying that she has a little more size on the other women, and that like she hasn't won anything yet, and like why is she so feared, or like being a tough girl, but like she hasn't shown it to me yet.
Yeah, she did really well in this challenge. Like she fought hard against Michaela, which was impressive. So I do think she like somewhat proved herself here. I too I'd like to see her win something, whether it's a daily or an elimination. Like at this point, if you're in the house, like if you're a guy in the house, would you rather run the final with Chanel or Cassidy? Like
I'd rather go with Cassidy probably.
Yeah, like Cassidy, like we've seen her do different things well. So at this point, like, why is Chanel better than Cassidy?
I think it's just because they're in an alliance. And she was there at the time when Tori proposed that deal.
Yeah.
It's like the strong in numbers. Because like if Cassidy was part of that group, like, it would make more sense.
Mm-hmm.
So Michaela and Chanel was great to watch. I love the ladies going at it. Yeah, I thought that like the women did this challenge better than the guys did.
Oh yeah, for sure. It was more entertaining because they actually were willing to fight each other. Like it wasn't as much like buddy as the guys.
Yeah, she came up short once again. Eek. So after the daily, we see Michaela talking to Desi and Chanel. Michaela's kind of, throwing out the idea of like maybe it's time to throw Tori in again. Like not throw her in again, but talking about throwing her in. And so she goes into the deliberation with Corey, and she's saying to Corey, "Yeah, I want Tori." And so, how do you feel about this kind of argument that they were having? Because I don't think that Corey was playing scared. Like he shouldn't want Tori gone.
No, Corey was doing what he should have done. Like Corey was definitely like right in his logic. I think Michaela's one problem in the game, and like I love her so much, and she's like TV gold, and she's obviously physically a beast. Her one problem is I think she needs to let other people talk first, because her bringing up Tori to Corey and it not working out is basically the same thing as her taking a shot at Tori.
Absolutely. It's going to get back to
her. Like, if Corey shuts it down, he's going to tell Tori bananas, 100%. Fessy. And it's the same as if she took the shot. So you either have to know the shot is going to land or don't say it at all.
Mm-hmm.
You can't, like, if it was Chris in there instead of Corey, 100% you throw Tori in.
Absolutely.
But you just like Michaela needs to let other people talk first sometimes. And again, like TV wise, I love what she's doing, but
Mhm.
like I want her to win also. And like now I'm worried that she's in the line of fire.
100%. She's like, be like, gloves are off. Like, I'm coming for you now, Michaela. Because Michaela, I would say, is the strongest out of that alliance group. So,
Oh yeah, yeah. And she's the most vocal. Like she is like making herself the biggest threat. Um, so yeah, I'd definitely be a little worried for Michaela.
so Willie doesn't know why Corey won the daily. He wanted to protect Bananas when Bananas can 100% win against Corey in a final.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think he's just playing. He's just doing the loyalty thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, we're going to see next guy's elimination. What's going to happen? Because now, like, they can throw in Chris all they want, but they still have to turn on each other, right? So
Mhm.
now it's like,
Who's going in next?
I imagine Corey and Fessy would vote in Bananas.
Mm-hmm.
Bananas would probably vote in, like, Bananas would vote in one of Fessy or Corey, but what's Josh going to do there?
So Sudani says, to be honest, I think Michelle has a better chance of going home than Michaela if no one in her alliance wins next week. Yeah, Michelle, I can see being Michelle or Cassidy. No, Cassidy's still around, so Cassidy's probably going to be going in.
Yeah, Cassidy would, unless she wins the daily, Cassidy will probably go in. And then it's just a matter of like who goes in against her. Is it going to be Tori, Michaela, or Michelle? I feel like Desi is actually very safe right now. So, and Chanel, I think, is fairly safe. Yeah, so I think Michaela of Michaela, Chanel, and Desi, I'd say Michaela is the most in danger. But Cassidy is definitely in the most danger.
For sure. So El Boogie here says Bananas Wash, he lost to Devin. Yes, he lost to Devin, but it was that whole brick building thing that really lost it for him. They made a mistake. So I don't know if I take that as a super loss to Devin.
That final was like, that was a really shitty final. But I think Devin like and Tori like very easily beat Bananas and Nani because like they won like everything leading up to that
That's
final
true.
brick thing. And like the fact that they had that brick thing at the end, that was the only reason Bananas even had a shot. If it was a normal final, Bananas and Nani would have got absolutely crushed by Devin and Tori, I feel.
Probably. I mean, Nani, I felt wasn't really that they were fighting. They weren't really getting along. They weren't working that well together in the final.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that this partnership with Nani was more of the reason why he didn't do so well.
Yeah, for sure. And like same as Jordan. Like if Jordan wasn't with Anissa, like he very easily would have won. If he was with Naya, like he was supposed to be.
Lauren, you're not wrong here. Lauren says that the girl should vote in Josh. He would be the last guy I'd want to run a final with. 100%.
Absolutely.
100%.
And Desi knows firsthand, like you don't want to get to the final with someone that's not good at finals. And I mean, we haven't seen Josh there, but I don't picture it going super well.
El Boogie says Pesci should be embarrassed losing to Corey like that. I mean, because he talks a big game, like he's this big strong guy, and if they give me any physical elimination, and I'll take him down.
I just know, like next chance Fessy gets, like he's gonna remember this, and it's gonna be like, all right, Corey's going in a hall brawl. I'm gonna nominate myself for payback to show the fans and my competitors, and I'm the biggest, fattest guy around. So just get ready for the Fessy hall brawl nomination for himself.
Oh, God. Let me throw myself in.
Yeah.
So they agree in the end. Well, not like she didn't want to agree to this, but they are going to put in Tyler and Cassidy. And so Cassidy is talking to Michaela after, and Michaela's kind of defending the reason why Cassidy's name is going to be going in the hopper. And she says like Michaela has no emotions, but Michaela kind of took this offensively. What do you think about their little interaction?
I think Cassidy was a little intoxicated. It definitely seemed. And I think even at the end of the confrontation, she like grabbed a bottle of wine. So looks like they were having a fun night out, and probably nothing too serious there. I do think like sometimes Michaela like does struggle to show her emotions and is like a little bit like stoic, but we've also seen the emotional side of Michaela even this season with like
Her
talking about, was it
grandfather.
her uncle or
I think it was grandfather.
grandfather? Someone close to her had passed, and we've seen this. We've seen different sides of Michaela, but and I wouldn't say Cassidy's necessarily wrong. Like Michaela is like very
I
like
mean, on her on
analytical.
the high beam thing, yes, last week,
Yeah,
she was
yeah.
showing
There's
some emotion
emotion.
there for sure. I thought it was funny though, Cassidy letting off some steam, giving a little drunken kiss with Michelle. That was fun.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
little bit
There's like
of
some lap dancing.
old school drunken messiness. Thank you.
I love that. Like, I love when when Cassidy goes over to Michelle, they like have a little kiss. You just see like Corey like pop his head in, like, "Hey, what's going on over there?" But yeah, it felt like a very, very old school, which I am. I don't know. I'm really enjoying this season. I do think there is like a little bit of an old school vibe with like these new school characters.
Mm-hmm. So Chris needs one more elimination to tie Wes Casey. Casey has 5.
Yeah, because they were partners on
Oh,
Fresh Meat.
in the first fresh meat.
Mm-hmm.
Horacio and Sarah G. Impressive.
It's very, very impressive.
I mean, I'd like to see a Godfather. Okay, sorry. Thank you, Lena. Armand's here is saying that Michaela would have gotten backlash for any move that she made. It's true, actually. She couldn't really do anything without somebody being upset with her. And it's kind of like, you can't really be upset with me if you're not winning power yourself. Like, win a daily, and then let's see what you do. You know?
Yeah.
Sorry, Cassidy. Like, chill. So Michaela goes to talk to Chris about making it a girls' day. So she really wants it to be a girls' day. She really wants to throw in Tori. And Chris is like, if someone's giving him a plan, he's going to go with it. And so he intends on putting Tori's ball in the hopper. So the secret garden are all meeting up together, and they also decide to throw their votes in the secret vote on Tori. And Michelle is in the room. So Michelle is actually quite happy that they're including her in the plan, that she's, has some sort of safety within this group. And so she's happy about her positioning. So we get to the secret vote, though, and Michelle is playing the middle, as she usually is, and now she has to make a decision between the vets or the secret garden. What did you think that Michelle was going to do?
I actually, at that point in time, I thought, like, when she was in the room with them, I thought she was going to go along with it for sure. Then she got into the voting booth. It's like, oh, what am I going to do here? And then it just hit me, like, the worry I had with Michelle all along is, like, Michelle is, like, playing for the future seasons solely. Like, she wants to be in. She wants to be at the bottom of the Vacation Alliance, like, the main alliance for the MTV show, which, like, on one hand, it makes sense. But on the other hand, it's, like, it is going to, like, it's taken some of these people years and years to get to this point. Like, you are always going to be at the bottom of that. Like, so just make the move, like, make a move with these new people, gain the power there. Now it's like, what did you really do here? Like, you're still going to be targeted now next week or in 2 weeks, whenever it is. Like, you're now going to be targeted by both sides because you're expendable to both sides of the house. So I disagree with what she did. I wasn't surprised in the end that she did it, though.
Yeah, Michelle loves the middle because she doesn't like making a decision but until she makes a decision, and it's always screws her over in the end. So she needs to play a different strategy.
Someone posted, I can't remember who it was, like, someone posted online that Michelle plays the same game as Josh. And I think it is kind of accurate. Like, they're both very emotional. They both, like, seem to just really want to fit in with, like, the it crew. And, like, I feel like both of them, like, are going to be those type of players where they always make it, like, close to a final, but they'll never win a final because, like, they just
are expendable.
Like, they're very expendable, and, like, they're easily beatable too, where it's like you get to the end with all your friends, and then say Tori gets into an elimination. one, like she's gonna want to go against Michelle over Anissa because she's better friends with Anissa, but also like Michelle is someone that's easier to beat in most things. So like I just picture Michelle and Josh having a similar run on the show. And like honestly, I'm not really here for it. And I do like Michelle. I really like Michelle on Survivor. So just not, I don't know. I don't like that kind of game.
Well, I do hope though that there is an X's 3 and she competes with Wendell.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah, I don't want to see Wendell like become like a lackey to the vets though.
Oh.
So that's my only worry. Like I like Wendell too much. I don't want him to like be in with those people.
Well, but he like him and Michelle don't necessarily see eye to eye, so maybe they'd be button heads in their partnership because he wouldn't want to do that and she would.
Yeah, it's possible. Although, like, if they're gonna put Jordan with Tori on an X's, like, I don't want to see an X's season. I can't.
Oh.
I can't deal with it. Like, they're gonna run the game, and they'll be so annoying to watch. So I just like I cannot watch like 25 episodes of Jordan and Tori as a team.
Yeah, nope. But speaking of 25 episodes, how do you feel about the trailer for 39? 9.
I'm honestly like very excited about it. I'm like,
Good.
I'm still like, I'm excited to see what this like vet twist is. Like whether it's like every elimination is against like these people, like what happens if the winners lose. So I'm curious to see what happens with all that. But when I was watching the trailer and I see CT come in with that stick, I was like, I got goosebumps. I'm like, dude, if I was in there, I'd be like shitting bricks if CT walked in like that. And like, I know I'm potentially going against that guy. And like for the women, like you see Laurel and Cara come in, like that is a scary thing to see if you're standing in the ring.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how they decide to make this new twist or new version work. So because they get to have their vets in there, but like they're not competing necessarily. They have to go through them if they want to be a challenge champ this time around. So yeah, I look forward to it.
Yeah. And another thing I'm really looking forward to
Our draft.
is the draft. Yeah. But I was listening to the Challenge Mania podcast a couple days ago, and maybe it was this morning, but they did like a live show, and Olivia was there, and they said to Olivia like, "Hey, like, can you like?" They asked a question about Horacio and Nerys or something, and Olivia basically said that her and Nerys are like very much not friends anymore, and it's been like a little bit awkward because Horacio is obviously like good friends with Olivia, and they had a bit of a falling out, and like now they're good. But yeah, Nerys and Olivia like seem to really not like each other right now. And Olivia straight up said, like, I just can't deal with like fake friends, and like I'm like a girl's girl, and like when people don't reciprocate that, and like take my kindness for weakness, like I don't want them part of my life.
Well,
and she straight up said Nerys' name.
Well, Nerys probably asked Olivia if she minded if she dated Horacio, and Olivia probably said yes, and she did it anyways.
You think?
Like, what else would it be? It's going to be over a guy.
But is Olivia into Horacio?
Maybe. Or like territorial over her friend. Like,
I feel like, I mean, it could also be like maybe one of them sends another into an elimination.
Oh, like maybe they weren't working together on the season and Nerys just backstabs her.
Or vice versa, yeah. Although if it was vice versa, I don't know why Olivia would be saying that. But I don't know. I'm excited to see how it unfolds. Like the whole like Horacio Nerys too. I think I'm really optimistic about this season. I'm like excited for some fresh faces.
Me too. Oh, well, so we get to the elimination and we see that Tori only gets 3 balls because Michelle did not vote with the girls and instead voted with the vets. Chanel gets 1 ball, so I'm assuming that's from Michelle, and Chris gets 6 balls. So Chris is going in. So they thought it was going to be a tie. So who was the other person that voted for Chris that they thought would have voted for Tori?
No, it was just the one, right? Just But there was one vote on Chanel.
Yeah, so I thought the Chanel vote was maybe Michelle's, but who's the fifth vote?
I don't know who the fifth vote was. No, I think Tyler's vote was on Chanel, and Michelle's vote was on Chris.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they should have gotten Tyler to vote Tori.
Yeah, because it wouldn't make sense for Tyler to vote for Chris, because that would just increase his odds of going in. So it must have been Tyler's on Chanel. But yeah, I guess they were expecting, maybe they were expecting, I don't know why they would expect Tyler to put a vote on Chris, though. That wouldn't make sense. But who knows?
Who knows?
But here's the thing. So Desi had a confessional where she said, like, classic Michelle, like, I like had a feeling this was going to happen, whatever. So they like were worried Michelle was going to flip. Michelle flipped. Now my question is, Michelle goes back to the house. Next week's a women's elimination. Is Michelle straight up going to vote for Desi, Michaela, or Chanel next week?
Probably.
Or is she going to vote for Tori now?
I don't think she'll vote for Tori now. I think that she'll just like be like, oh, I screwed them over, so now I have to take them out.
Yeah.
And Tori's gonna be like, they tried to come for me last week, so let's go for Michaela and let's put all our votes on Michaela, and then they'll throw their votes to get Desi against Michaela or something like that.
I mean, it would make more sense to. I mean, it depends who wins the daily, but they should not make Cassidy the like votes. Like they should vote in whoever wins should try to vote in like someone from the opposite alliance, and like, what's the point of making Cassidy the vote in? Just like put her in the hopper, but like at this point, like Cassidy's literally on her own. So we'll see. I could see like I could also see a scenario where like Desi, Chanel, or Michaela win the daily, and they like compromise with the male winner and say, let's just put Michelle in, because they'll be pissed at Michelle. Like if they don't want to put in Tori, I could definitely see that happening, and Michelle become a bit more of a target than even Cassidy is.
But like you want Michelle in the final because she's likely to not win. But anyways,
yeah.
Fake Matt says, I thought Michelle voted Chanel to save Cassidy, though. I mean, she should have a better shot at beating Cassidy in the end. But I think it makes sense for you, what you're saying, though, that Tyler did the Chanel.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't make sense for Tyler to vote for Chris and then like put himself into elimination.
Thank you for the super chat, Sophie. Yeah, we talked a little bit about the trailer. We thought it was good. It gave Matthew goosebumps, the 39 trailer. And you went back and listened. It does sound like Wes's voice at the end, right?
It did sound a little like Wes. I listened to Drew as well, like talked about it, and he had like said, like, I can't tell whose voice this is. Like it sounds like an American's voice, but he couldn't tell whose it was. I don't think it's Wes though.
But like it very well could be Wes.
They would show like they wouldn't add.
No, but maybe they're making it a surprise. Like, oh.
Yeah, I don't know. Like if they were gonna make a surprise, like wouldn't they make the surprise like Cara Maria? And also, like, if it was gonna be a surprise, why would they put his voice in the trailer?
To like get us like talking about like, is Wes already coming out of retirement? But I guess he already did that season, maybe before he said he was retiring.
No, I feel like USA filmed before. Yeah, USA filmed before 39. No, it must have.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it did, because Michelle is on both, right? That's another thing. Like we know Michelle doesn't win this season anyways, but
Sophie, I haven't watched Angel Cakes yet. Angel Cake also said that the vets could come in later in the season with the breakdown.
Yeah, there's 10 of them. There's only 10 like winners and 24 contestants. So
yeah, maybe it's halfway through that they start bringing in the vets to go against an elimination.
Yeah, it's possible. I really think it would have been cool if it was like what I think I said this a couple weeks ago, but if it's like the winners are there and like they keep going in eliminations, but once they lose one, they just go home. and then like the other ones like stick around and they keep like fighting in eliminations. Although I guess like for them, it's like, why is like CT gonna stay there for 4 weeks just to do eliminations? It's kind of pointless if he's not going to be able to win.
Adrian, you're right. Adrian says if Tyler was the House vote this episode, then wouldn't he not be eligible to take part in the voting system?
No. The people voted in still have a vote. It's just the winners of the challenge don't have a vote for the Hopper.
Correct, because we did see Cassidy put her vote in.
Yeah.
Correct. All right, so they had to try to make some sort of cliffhanger with like TJ saying, Cassidy, you commercial break. We come back, are off the hook. So Cassidy is not going to be going down. It's going to be Chris versus Tyler, and they're going to be playing barrel tag. We've seen this before in older school versions, like seasons of the challenge. I would say that we've seen these barrel type games. I think in Cutthroat's last one I'm remembering.
Yeah. I think Cutthroat, and it's like, I guess like a little bit similar to where you have to like move around in those cubes. A little different, I guess, because you're not inside of a contraption. I thought this was an okay elimination. Again, like I don't really love like timed ones where you don't see a timer, and like I don't think this was rigged really, because like why are they rigging it for Chris over Tyler? Like I don't think they would care, but yeah, I mean I just don't really love like things where there's a timer. I'd rather see like just change it up a little bit, and
yeah, I don't know why we don't get to know the times. And like, did we watched the whole elimination? So I wish that I could have probably just timed it myself, you know? So first round, Tyler is tagging Chris. And so he does it pretty quickly, and he keeps on saying in his confessionals that like, oh yeah, I did that pretty quick. And I was like, oh, he's pretty quick. I'm like, oh, so he lost. Because like, why are you going on and on and on and on about how quick you were this time around? And then when Chris is turned to tag Tyler, it seemed equally as fast. But when we learn at the end that the times, we hear that Chris did it in 1 minute and 20 seconds. And Tyler did it in 1 minute and 52 seconds, meaning that Tyler is going to go home, but gets TJ saying that he's one of the chillest dudes he's ever met.
Yeah, Tyler is like a kind of dude I would picture TJ really liking. I personally like don't care to see Tyler back, but do you think he will be back? Because I think there's a solid chance.
I think so, because he's good at these eliminations.
Yeah, and I actually do think Tyler is someone that would be really good at a final as well.
I think that if he had, under different circumstances, he could have done better in this game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. And like he did fairly well. I mean, he had a hookup too, so it's like he brought enough. Like I don't think he's like very exciting. Like even with like hooking up, winning eliminations, like he doesn't like flash for me. But I mean, I know people like people like Tyler. Like a lot of the fans like that like good looking like surfer bro, like is like willing to hook up, like can win things. So like I wouldn't be shocked to see him back honestly on MTV or CBS. I think there's like a decent chance he makes the switch as well.
Yeah, I see him coming back
on MTV. You think?
I think he could make the jump. I like him more than the other Big Brother players that they've brought around. I like him more than Josh.
Yes, definitely more than Fessy. The problem is like he's just going to be working with them, and like you put him on a season with Casey as well. Like he's working with her and Nani and Banana. So I wouldn't mind seeing Tyler on CBS again. I don't really want to see him on MTV with all those people though.
I mean, I hear that. All right. So, for the points, we have Michaela and Corey getting 5 points for their daily win. For the elimination, that was won by Chris. So Chris is getting. Who has Chris? Do you have Chris or do I have Chris?
I think I have Chris, which is pretty nice for those eliminations.
I'm like, I don't know where that list is. But yeah, you're getting some points with Chris and Fessy. Your number one pick there, or did I pick Fessy?
I have Fessy, but Fessy hasn't been in an elimination. No?
Oh, nobody won 2 dailies.
Yeah.
Dailies.
And there's also points for Michelle and Cassidy for their kiss. Do we count that as a hookup point?
Okay, we count that as a hookup, sure.
I mean, it's like all we're getting this season. So now that Tyler's gone.
Got 5 points for, I think I have Cassidy. And Michelle. Okay, so who's our MVP this episode?
Okay, I think for me,
Corey.
I'm gonna go with Corey. I think like he had more.
His way.
Yeah, he got his way. Like obviously he did well. Like he beat Fessy, which we all love, and he also was the one to get like the emotional content with his like family back home. So, and I also think like Corey's been pretty invisible until this week. So this was like a breakout Corey episode. Maybe this is Corey's season. Although it is a little late to like just throw it on us. I don't know. Like, how are you feeling about MVP and then also like about the rest of the season?
No, I think that Corey is probably the choice here. If I think about anybody else, nobody else did anything. Like Michelle's the only person that kind of did something, you know what I mean? But like, I don't know if it bettered her game. So like, is that a good move? I don't think so necessarily. So yeah, I think I can agree with you that Corey is the MVP of this episode. And for the season, I mean, I don't know if I see him winning. Like it's kind of him or Chris then, I guess, right? Or winning the season? Or Fessy. Fessy still could win the season.
I mean, like Bananas always has a shot, and like the thing about Bananas is like he's obviously always gonna have like the most screen time because he's Bananas. So it's hard to tell if it's like a winner's edit or if it's just like Bananas being Bananas. So he always has a chance. He's like seemingly pretty safe too. Like Josh, I'm gonna rule out. Chris is just so hard because like he's probably gonna have to win another elimination, and like yeah, he could obviously win one, but like, is he really gonna go 5-0 in eliminations? If it's against Josh, like he'll win, but
well, and also though, if like the final has any sort of sabotages or anything like that, people will sabotage him.
Yeah, like anything like that, he could get fucked. I don't know. Like, I'd be okay with Corey winning, but he has just been so quiet.
Right now, realistically, I think that it's either Chris or Fessy that is winning this season.
Yeah, I still think Fessy. Like something tells me Fessy is just gonna like this. It's gonna be like a slightly easier final if it's anything like USA 1. Like, and if it's just like checkpoints, it's not just like straight endurance. Like I could definitely see Fessy doing really well.
Well, he says if Chris was in a puzzle with Corey or Fessy in elimination, he could win. Well, Fessy's kind of smart.
Chris, I mean, if it was a puzzle, I would honestly take Chris over any of the guys, like Bananas included. Like to me, like Chris is probably the smartest of the guys left.
So Adrian says for the girls, it's basically Secret Garden 3 versus Tori. If it happens, then the boys, I think maybe Chris or Corey or Fessy.
So I just like, I can't rule out Bananas. It's tough. Like Bananas is good at finals. Like if there's strong women there, like nobody's going to be like dragging him down. Even like if Michelle were to make the final, like I don't think she's so much like
stamina.
Yeah. And like, she's good with puzzles and checkpoints. I don't think like the only person left in the game that is like a hindrance in a final to me is Josh.
So saying that Michelle only had a few days off between USA and 39. Ooh. Oops. Okay, so I'm gonna agree with you with Corey being the MVP.
Who's your winner pick for the women?
Oh,
I guess it's hard to say. Nothing's really changed.
I mean,
except potentially Michelle and Michaela being in a little bit more danger.
I kind of like. I don't want to say it because I don't want to put it out in the universe, but I think that Tori might win again. and I'm getting kind of scared about it because she's not afraid of these women to go up against these women in the final. I think that Desi will definitely give her a run for her money. I'm not sure if Michaela will get there, but so would Michaela. But I just kind of think that I think Tori might be able, just from experience wise, be able to beat Desi if Desi's the only person that she's running against out of those Secret Garden people.
Yeah, again, I mean, it does really depend on the formats. Like, if it's like very checkpoint heavy, like honestly, anyone could win. If it's like straights, like endurance and like a typical final, like Tori definitely has like a little bit of an edge on the others.
Mm-hmm.
I do, I don't know. I just want Michaela to win so badly, and I feel like she does have like a really strong edit. But
if she gets to the final, I would be very interested to see how that happens. You know, like her win, like that would be a really great final, and I think it would be a really amazing win. I could see that happening. I'm just not sure she'll get there.
Yeah. So actually, something like funny, something kind of weird. I thought that I saw a few days ago. Do you know who has the most confessionals on this season?
Cassidy?
Yeah, Cassidy. I thought that was like pretty crazy that like Cassidy's like the star of the season. To me, like I guess like she is kind of like an underdog, like has been in eliminations, but
well, she's had to go in so many times that like she's part of the storyline, right?
yeah.
Like every week, she's part of the story.
I want to see if they updated. No, they haven't updated today's episode, but like I don't know, like Wes was the most, which makes sense as well. He probably still is the most. I think he was like 10 up on Cassidy after last week, which like makes sense there. And like Bananas, I think, is after Cassidy. I wonder where Chris falls there, but like Chanel is very low in confessionals.
I don't even know what her voice sounds like.
I'm pretty sure like Chanel and Fessy like still have less confessionals than Amanda, and Amanda's been gone like 8 weeks. But like Amanda, the first like 4 episodes, or the 4 episodes she was in, was like getting like 8 confessionals an episode. Like she was just dominating the airtime. Rightfully so.
Do you think that Chris has been getting a winner's edit?
I mean, I guess in a way, but like it's more like the like underdog edit because he keeps going in. That's why it's like
I can also see the underdog edit getting to the final and losing and just still crying.
Yeah, that's definitely possible. But like, yeah, like when you go in elimination 4 times, and like I think Chris has been voted into the hopper 6 times, or he was the house vote 6 of 6 times, went in 4. Like you're gonna get like pretty positive airtime when you keep winning. But like, I mean, we saw the same thing with Horacio. Like he didn't win the final, obviously, like unforeseen circumstances, but like he didn't win. He still got like the hero edit. So
Adrian says if Tori makes the final with the core 3, then this contests if Tori's win was a fluke. I mean, I don't want her to win again to test if it was a fluke, to be honest. But
I wouldn't say her win was a fluke. Like it was deserved. Like they dominated the final, but like it was against Nany and Anissa. So like it wasn't a fluke, but like it was very easy competition. And like this competition is, even though they're not experienced, it's much tougher competition.
100%.
Like Nany and Anissa could do 20 challenges, and I would rather go against them than Desi and Michaela any day.
100%. Fake Matthew says, I think the underdog winner edit is kind of rare. Most likely he makes it to the finals. Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, he's got to win one more elimination, and he'll be there, I think.
He'll be in the final. I don't think he'll win the final, but...
Who do you think will be the vet that he takes out next then? Do you think it's just going to be Josh? Like the women are just going to say, Josh, you got to go in?
Or maybe he's going to try for Fessy.
He's going to ask to go against Fessy?
Or maybe he'll win power and put Fessy in. Because like that's the only people, Fessy and Tyler were the 2 people that he wanted to go against.
Oh my God. And I just remembered again, like we still have the Hall Brawl to come. We know that is 100% going to be the last. That's going to be the double. We're going to get a women's elimination next week. And then the following week, they're going to do a double elimination Hall Brawl.
Boring.
Yeah, it's so predictable.
Okay, well, I think that's it for this episode. Do you have anything else that you want to talk about?
No, I think that one thing actually, Laurel has been like absolutely wild on Twitter the last few days, like coming after everyone and anyone. Michelle, Wes, Teresa has been catching strays, but yeah, Laurel
Teresa?
is like Teresa.
I
They
knew
haven't
that.
played together in like 10 years, but Teresa was catching some heat. Laurel is just like going full savage right now on Twitter, and like I love it because it's like very entertaining, and this is what I like to see. And like when these people come back, like I want to see the beef. But like, man, like Wes is like probably like in the hospital right now, like having his wife give birth to a child, and like these people are just coming after him. I feel a bit bad for Wes. It's like he's like about to have a kid, and like people are just attacking him on Twitter nonstop.
Well, he does flame the fire, you know? Like, what did he say? Like, I don't know who's more obsessed with me, Laurel or Josh.
But that was because Laurel was like posting about him.
I know, but like, that's still going to get her, keep the conversation going, you know?
Yeah. Well, it was also funny because Josh then posted like, let's hope Wes comes back so we can blindside his ass a third time. It's like, Josh, you were literally just crying, sending him home. Don't like act all tough now that he's like calling you out and like, come on. Like, we saw what happened.
That's Josh for you. You know, he always does that.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he's a tough guy now. You know?
But yeah, if anyone like, go check out Laurel's Twitter. It's like an enjoyable 10 minutes of reading there.
Yeah, I definitely saw a couple of passes, so I want to go look and see some more. So Panda wants to know why Cassie didn't vote for any other guy but Chris.
I don't know.
Right? Maybe she just doesn't want to make another enemy.
Yeah, I mean, she knew the votes were going there, I guess. So she just like,
it's like everybody voted for Chris, and he can't be mad at one particular person. So
yeah, she could have put a stray vote on someone, and 10% they would have gone in.
Fake Math says, based on the edits, they think that Fessy, Michaela, Josh, Chris, Tori, and maybe Desi and Bananas will most likely make it to the finals, and then Cassidy will miss out.
So that would mean you think Corey is going to miss out as well. Corey and Cassidy and Michelle. Corey, Michelle, and Cassidy get out.
I think Corey will make it to the final. I'd take Josh out of that mix.
Well, if Josh goes into an elimination, like he's going to lose. I honestly think like if it's a hall brawl and Josh is in there, maybe honestly the best chance Josh would have would be against Bananas in a hall brawl. But I think Bananas would probably still win.
Probably, because he would have at least a technique.
Also, there's no way that it ends up being Bananas and Josh in a hall brawl. Like, there's no way both of them go in together. So, if it was a hall brawl and Josh went in against Fessy, Corey, or Chris, like, no way Josh is winning.
Yeah, no, I think Josh is going to be out. I think Corey will make it to the final.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see it, though. I'm glad we're getting closer to the end of this one. I like it, but like, let's wrap it up.
It's like on to the next.
Yeah, like, let's go. Let's go.
I have a feeling we're going to get like 8 months straight of like no breaks. It's going to be like challenge.
I mean, I love the challenge, but I wish we had 2 weeks off in between.
Maybe we'll get 2 weeks between 39 and All Stars 4.
Because it'll be Christmas.
Yeah, but then it's going to go like All Stars 4 in like January. And then we'll get like 40 like in the spring or something. It's gonna be nonstop, but it'll be fun.
Maybe they'll save 40 for the summer.
Maybe. I doubt it though. These like they don't take breaks here. Like we had the one break that was like 2 months, and it felt weird that they even had like a 2-month break.
It was because of the strike, so they're just like stretching out their content, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, thanks for joining me for this little recap. Do you have anything going on you want to share with the people?
No, not really. Just all my shows are back or coming back, so it's just a fun time of year.
You watching Love is Blind?
I'm not watching Love is Blind, but I am watching.
First Drop's pretty good.
I just can't. I can't do it. I watched season 1, wasn't a fan.
Oh, okay. If you didn't like season 1, then don't worry about it.
Yeah, but Bachelor in Paradise, Golden Bachelor, and then Challenge, Big Brother, Survivor. We're gonna get the Trader soon. More Challenge soon. So it's all fun. It's a good time.
I met Miss Fierce Delicious yesterday.
Who'd you meet?
She's on the Traders.
Oh, okay, cool. Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
There's only one person from Traders there yesterday, but it was a good time. You should have come out.
Yeah, it's been a busy week for me. I'm going away for work next week, so
Oh,
I like had like a shitload of stuff to do this week. I'm just like completely wiped at the end of the day.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Well, that's all we got today. Thanks everybody in the chat for joining us. It's kind of late, with these late episodes. I can't wait to be back to like the 9 p.m. So then we'll just go live at 10:30 or whatever. Do you think the episodes for 39 are going to be an hour and a half?
I feel like it will be. Probably it's 8 to 9:30, right? So yeah, much better. Where we can start the conversation at 10 instead of start the episode at 10.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I like it much, much better. So we'll see you guys soon. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video, and let us know who you think is going to make it to the final, or put people like in order of like likely to make it to the final to least likely. We'd like to see what you guys are thinking, who you're feeling. Let us know in the comments, and we'll talk about it next week. Oh my God, yes, ET Canada is gone, which sucks big time. Like, brutal.
Yeah,
Brutal.
it sucks.
It's really sad. What can you do? Canadian television needs commercial dollars. And if they're not getting the commercial dollars for ET Canada, it's not sustainable. So what can you do?
Too bad.
See ya. Support Canadian television. I don't know. Bye.